Huh?
You used to rap, MC?
Oh man, yeah, that was my first love.
Wait a minute, hold up. You ain't never tell me about that, dog.
No, man. Hey, internet exclusive, baby.
All right, go ahead. You used to MC. Go ahead.
Yeah, I used to MC, man. I was pretty decent with it, from a cat coming from the A, and at the time when hip hop was really, starting to blossom or whatever, nobody was really here in Atlanta, until Atlanta found their own lane. And since then, the way the rap has evolved, my messages were just too funny. So I said, well, let me just stick to singing. And so, it's a good thing that I can sing.
Yeah, right.
No, but so yeah, from that, I got a friendship. I began a friendship from Kizzy Rock introducing me to a guy named DJ Smurf, who you guys know as Mr. College Park.
Right.
And College Park and I became real good friends, to the point where I sung at his wedding.
What?
At his wedding, sung at his wedding, so we just go way back. And I got to give him props. I got to tell the entire world, when nobody else was calling me, he could have called anybody else, but whenever he needed like a certain vibe on something, he would call me and be like, yo, Jonz, I need you to play keys on this. So he's always, just kept me in the loop, or at least kept me in the back of his mind. And so I got to give him mad props for that. And he continues to do that for me now.
Right, and for all of those who don't know, Mr. College Park is the owner of College Park Records, which has put out artists such as Yin Yang Twins, Shake It Like a Salt Shaker, had a lot of stuff to do with Little John, for all you retarded, ignorant motherfuckers who just don't know jack. Well, go ahead, continue, sir, we're listening.
Yeah, and so, and then, another friendship spawned from me meeting a little intern at this radio station called Hot 97.5, which is now Hot 107.9. It was an intern that came fresh out of high school, out of Banneker High School, a guy named Christopher Bridges, a.k.a. Ludacris.
Yes, sir.
And so, I knew him when he was Chris Lover, on the radio station. And one of the other radio personalities on 107.9 named Shaka Zulu was a frat brother of mine. We were real tight. And so Shaka decided to become Chris's manager. And, the rest, as they say, is history.
Yeah. And they spawned what is now called, Disturbing the Peace Records. And if you don't know Ludacris, obviously you've been hiding under a rock.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That boy worldwide right now. Chris Lover is definitely Mr. Official Boss Man up at Def Jam for real, underneath for Jay-Z.
Sure.
So, all right, so you were actually able to work with Chris. Tell us about, how that came. Well, you don't have to tell us how it came about, but what's the name of the song that you actually produced?
The name of the song that I produced is the last song on the album, the Grammy Award-winning album, Release Therapy. It's the last song on the record. It's the longest song on the record, and it's called Freedom of Preach, and it's got Bishop Eddie Long on there as well.
Well, that's the business.
I do have to tell you how this came about, because when Chris started blowing up, naturally he started getting busy, mad busy, and I told that against him or Shaka. They were doing their thing, and I just made up in my mind that the direction they were going, they weren't interested in the direction that I was going as an artist.
Right.
I never really looked for, a hookup. I never really have, even with the people that I know. Never look for a hookup. I'm always willing to work for mine. But I just happened to Chris just happened to be in town. I said, man, tell me what you think about these tracks, because I was letting him hear some tracks for my next project, or possibly submitting some, for Bobby V. And I heard this one track. I let him hear 4 tracks. And out of 4 tracks, he liked 2 of them. He was like, hey, man, Jonz, what you doing with this one? I said, what want to do with it? He was like, man, that's hot, man. That's hot. Good session for it. And so he was really gung-ho about the record. And the way that the music is, I just never would have thought that Luda would have been interested in a vibe like that. But that's the genius behind him. He's always looking for the next. He's always looking for something that's just totally different.
Right.
And
he's always trying to He's trying to carve out a lane.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing that I really like about Luda. He pushes himself, man. He doesn't put himself in any type of box.
Right.
He's a smart dude.
So, all right. So from then on, you went from getting the joint on Ludacris's album to, you know, what's next, what came next? Because I know you starting to get a big fat track record here.
You know, slowly but surely. Well, before Luda, I was doing I did work on a couple of Yin Yang Twin albums. The USA album, the last album they had that went platinum. I did that. I did some work on that. I linked up with Mr. College Park and did quite a few remixes with him. I did 2 Avant remixes, Jamie Foxx remix. I did a song on this group called The Musicians.
Right. Well, that was what's his name from the Yin Yang Twins?
Rock.
Right, D-Rock. He came out with a.
It was the lead-off single, Camera Phone.
Oh, you did Camera Phone.
Yeah, I co-produced Camera Phone.
Oh, damn! I'm gonna have to get that joint so I can put it on a radio show. So what happened next? Because I think didn't you tell me you did some stuff with Sierra, right?
Yeah, I co-produced a song on Sierra on the iTunes version of her album. The name of the song is a bonus track, and it's called "Love You Better."
Okay.
I've done that, and then I've been pretty much just on the grind. I've been working a lot heavily with Camp Productions. Been doing a lot of stuff with them. We just finished this remix, and hopefully it'll get picked up for Bobby V. I've been working with. I worked with E40 on a couple of tracks, and worked with Young Jock on a few things also. So you know, just trying to put my name out there where it can go.
I hear that, man. So you just ain't no sleep for the Mr. Jonz, huh?
Hey, man, I got to get it.
I hear that. So so I can see why the album's been pushed back so long, man. Shoot, man.
Yeah, but I still want to keep the juices flowing, man. And I love working with other people because it pushes my creative level, and it takes me out the box.
Right. So tell me, like, since you've been dealing with all of these industry cats, like, how has it like changed your outlook on like how you make records? And you know what I mean? Like, is there any particular like moment where you just like, wow, damn, I see how they doing something different. You know what I mean? I could probably twist it this way or that way. You know what I mean? Like, does it really affect you that much, or because it's all hip hop, does it really affect you at all?
Yeah, you know what? It really does. I mean, even grew up loving hip hop. I'm a straight up musician, and anybody that is a straight up musician will tell you, a lot of times they will try to put as many different elements in a song that they possibly can. But with the way hip hop is now, it's like less is more. So you really have to be scientific, even about the small stuff that you put in. And that's one thing that I really learned, especially with, and a lot of people may not notice about Young Jock, man, but Jock is deep in terms of music, man. I mean, he has a very keen ear for a lot of music. And, you know, and a lot of people, you know, look at his flow as something being simple or whatever, but Jock really took a scientific approach to his whole album, and it's just the way that he broke it down. It really made me understand where he was coming from and how he came up with the vibe that he came up with. So it's a lot more thought into it than a lot of people think, you know, than just going up to the mic and just, you know, and just doing something. It's a really it's a long creative process that happens. So, you know, much props to Young Jock from Mr. Jonz.
Damn, man, that's serious. Cause I just seen Young Jock in Vegas when I was down there for my homeboy's wedding, man. Like, and the waves was so thick, he made me seasick for real. And the ice was blinging, and we was up in the club. I wouldn't have never thought that he was putting that much thought up into his records. I mean, no disrespect to that man. I mean, obviously, you know, he's working hard and he's getting his money, but
right.
I mean, you definitely putting a different perspective on him as an artist than I would have assumed. You know what I mean? Because it was just like,
yeah, he's not just a rapper. I would call that dude an artist.
Okay.
He's really deep with his, and I really wish him the best, you know, on the upcoming project. You know, hopefully, you know, something I did will get on there too. So
I mean, like, so I know you've probably heard some new cuts off of his new album. I mean, do you think he's going to take like a different path for this new project? I mean, given the, I mean, his first album was successful, and I really haven't heard the whole thing. But I mean, do you think that he's going to take it to a different level? Because given if you're an artist, you should be able to transcend, you know, wherever you were. You know what I mean? So you know, what's your thoughts?